I'm hurting. I'm hurting a lot. Such an awful call on that Draymond Green ejection. I mean, it's the playoffs, number one. Number two, like, sure, maybe it's a flagrant. Give him a flagrant one. I mean, that not even close to a flagrant two ejection, and Draymond gets ejected. On pace to break the slate, had almost 25 with a couple minutes to go in the second quarter, and just gets a BS ejection. I also took his over on Prize Picks. That was easily going to hit. So just so much pain here. Also, in the first game, you had all this. First game cost me like a year of my life. Those injuries, Smart going to the locker room, Robert Williams going to the locker room. They both actually came back, but Smart was clearly not himself. But yeah, the Draymond ejection, I'm so, because I had a 15% owned Ja. So my take was, I like Ja the most in tournaments because I figured he was going to be the lowest owned of the top four spend ups. And someone put in chat that according to ownership, Steph was projected to be lower owned than Ja. And I was like, no way. Like, Ja's going to be way lower owned. And it was true. My intuition was right. Steph Curry was like 45% owned and Ja Morant was 15%. So I had a 15% Ja go for 70. I missed the cash by like 10 in tournaments with Draymond. Like, Draymond doesn't get ejected. It's a nice 3-4x night for me for sure. So, so incredibly tilting. But yeah. I'm in pain. I am in pain, guys. But if you guys are new and this is your first time watching, welcome to the channel. Again, my name is DK, and I do cover Draftkings, NBA Top Shot, and Prize Picks. If you guys are looking for more in-depth content, I do offer that on patreon.com. NBA, USFL, we had a big winner, almost taking down the big contest on Sunday only. And then esports package, that's included in gold. So a lot of different packages there. The sponsor of today's video, guys, is Super Draft. New partner, and I'm super excited to be working with them. You can use the code DKDFS for a $50 match. I'll have the link in the description below. This is the page you can go to. So again, it is DKDFS. $50 off. Make sure to use that code. Like I said, I am so excited to be working with Super Draft. I'll have some content up for them shortly. But all right, let's talk about this two-game slate. And we'll start off with Philadelphia. So, Philadelphia. Oh, also, one other thing. So, you know, I probably had 10 to 15 people, whether it be on Twitter or the YouTube comment section, tell me, oh, you're an idiot for playing Jaren Jackson Jr. at low ownership. He doesn't have upside. Even if he stays out of foul trouble, he doesn't have a ceiling. Oh, really? I would say the results the last two games beg to differ there. It's crazy, right? And we've been taking advantage of this big time in the playoffs. How much people overreact to a few games. Now, sure, obviously it was super tilting playing Jaren Jackson Jr. at low ownership every single slate and him getting in massive foul trouble every single slate. But you saw the upside I was shooting for, right? I got it in the showdown slate, and you saw him go for absolutely smash today as well. So the times you want to play Jaren Jackson are obviously when he's low owned. I have a feeling, though, he's not going to be that low owned after back-to-back big games. But yeah, like I said, the people are like, oh, Jaren Jackson doesn't have upside. It's like, you're overreacting so hard. And that's what people do in the playoffs. And again, we've been taking big time advantage of that, making a lot of money. It's been a very good playoffs for myself. Again, it would have been another great day today if Draymond didn't get ejected. So that's still painful. But all right, let's now move on to this one. Philadelphia, no Embiid. So we'll keep an eye on the starting lineup. I would guess it's Paul Reed. And people are going to realize how good Paul Reed is. Pretty underrated big, in my opinion. Now, he's not huge. He's more of an undersized big, but he's a great point per minute guy, a good shot blocker, decent score. He is a guy, I played him and Tyrese Maxey like every single slate in the Summer League. So I'm excited to play some Paul Reed. Now, knowing Doc Rivers will probably be an idiot and start DeAndre Jordan. But if Paul Reed starts, I think he makes for a phenomenal value there at 4.2. And then back to the top end, guys. We have Harden at 9.8, Harris at 8K, and Maxey at 7.4. It's obviously a tough spot here against Miami. I think Harden's your best bet. He's going to play around 40 minutes, and now he's the go-to guy, right? No Embiid. This is James Harden's team. So I think Harden makes for a really, really good play. I know Miami's solid defensively, but I think he looks great. Harris at 8K, I don't love. I don't necessarily think he gets like a massive bump here. I would say really it's Harden that benefits the most. And then Maxey at 7.4, kind of just indifferent on him. He's been all over the place, up and down, but he's going to play huge minutes and does have a ceiling. Like I said, though, I think Harden is the guy I like the best. And then we talked about Paul Reed. They could go to DeAndre Jordan, the starting lineup. Even if they start DeAndre Jordan, I would rather have Paul Reed for cheaper. And then Danny Green at 4.8. I mean, we do have Thibault available since they're no longer playing Toronto. I don't think I want to pay 4.8K for Danny Green. I guess he's playable, but I don't feel as good about it now, especially with Thibault back in the mix. So that's really it for Philadelphia. I mean, maybe they could go small like Tobias Harris and then like maybe you see a little bit more run for like Niang, but he's 4.1. Like he got a price bump. So there's not much else I'm looking to on Philadelphia. Now on the Miami side, once again, can they stop listing everyone as questionable? Just stop it. Knock it off, right? No one, I'm tired of it. Just stop listing the whole team as questionable. Jimmy practiced, he's going to play. Tyler Hero practiced, he's going to play. Max Struss, he's going to play. PJ Tucker's going to play. Martin's going to play. All these guys are going to play. Just stop listing them all as questionable. It's very annoying when they're not truly questionable. But yeah, Jimmy Butler at 9.2. No Kyle Lowry. I think he makes for a very good play. He's going to do a lot of the ball handling. He's going to be their go-to option. He's gone for 60-plus now in 2 of the last 3 games. He has small forward, power forward eligibility. I think Jimmy looks great. I think Bam Adebayo is very much too cheap here at 7.3. Played 41 minutes last game. Again, we have no Embiid. He'll be matched up against like Paul Reed or the absolute dust of DeAndre Jordan. So I think Bam's in a great spot as well. The rest of Miami, Heroes at 6.4. I mean, I'm kind of just indifferent on him. Hasn't had a great playoffs. Oladipo at 5.1 played well. It's going to be interesting to see like what are his minutes going to be like now with Jimmy back. At 5.1K, it feels a little bit pricey for Oladipo. Vincent, I would expect continue to start at 4.4. I think he's fine, but minutes-wise, maybe 25-ish, 25 to 30. I think PJ Tucker's a pretty good value at 4K. We know what we're getting out of Tucker. He's going to play, low 30s minutes. Not super productive, but he probably won't kill you. And, did I skip over Max Struss? I think Max Struss is a solid option as well. Expect, probably around 30 minutes. He is relatively score independent, but he has overtaken Duncan Robinson as that shooting guard role. And that's really it for Miami. So let's move on to Dallas and Phoenix, the night game here. So Dallas, Luka Doncic, 11-2. I feel like it's still too cheap. Played 42 minutes, so there's clearly no more limit on Luka. I think he's going to play similar minutes to last game of, around 40. So Luka, if you have the salary, looks great. Brunson's been pretty consistent playing alongside Luka. I just don't know if it's necessary to go there on the slate. Dorian Finney-Smith got a little bit of a price hike to 5.8. He had a big game, kind of an outlier. A lot of the times, so he's only going to hover in that like 25 fantasy point range, which is fine at 5.8, but don't love his ceiling. Dinwiddie at 5.6. Did play 32 minutes last game, but I feel like it's still a little bit too pricey for Dinwiddie. Reggie Bullock, kind of the same thing with Dorian Finney-Smith, right? He's probably going to get you 25-ish fantasy points. He's going to play huge minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock are probably playing close to the entire game. So they're both fair plays. And then you're going to have the big the center spot kind of man between Powell and Kleba. So this will be interesting. I don't know what Dallas is going to do here, right? Clearly they wanted to spread out Utah last game and go Bear. Do they want to do the same against Phoenix? Or do they want to play their traditional center and Powell more this game? So I'm not sure how Dallas is going to approach this. So at 3.5K, I do think Powell's firmly in play. Minutes, I don't know. But if he plays like 25 minutes at 3.5, he's going to stand out as one of the best values. And then Kleba at 3.8, risk off the bench as well. Been struggling with the shot a little bit of late, but we saw early in the Utah series he can have a really good game if he gets hot behind the 3-point arc. So both the Dallas bigs I think are in play here in Cleveland and Powell at cheap price points. And finally, the Phoenix Suns. So honestly, not a lot that stands out to me on the Phoenix side. Chris Paul, I know he still had a big game with Devin Booker back last game. More of an outlier. Chris Paul's not going to go shoot 14 of 14 and go for 30 plus points every single game with Devin Booker back. So a Paul at 9-1, I don't love it. Devin Booker at 8-5, did play 32 minutes. Obviously, he's dealing with a hamstring. We'll see if there's any limitations on Booker. If he's not limited, I think I would rather go to Booker over Paul for the discount, but we'll keep an eye on that news. And then Deandre Eden at 7-7, like he's going to play probably 35 or so minutes. Played 40 minutes last game. I think on average you get mid-30s minutes, which kind of just makes him a neutral play. Mikal Bridges at 6-1 feels a little bit pricey. Sure, he's going to play a majority of the game, but with Booker back, he definitely is just going to be more out there for his defense. The wings, Cam Johnson at 4-9 feels a little bit too pricey with Booker back. Played 24 minutes last game. So I don't love the price there. I would rather go to Jay Crowder, who I expect more minutes from. Played 30 minutes last game. I think we get around 30 from Crowder. He has been in severe foul trouble now the last 4 games. So you might even get a little bit more run for Crowder at 4-6. I think makes him a fair value play. And then a couple cheap guys I'll mention. Cam Payne will play the backup point. He's probably playing somewhere in the neighborhood of 15-ish minutes, which makes him playable. We know Payne's not a bad point per minute guy. He'll be relatively aggressive when he's out there. So at close to min price, I do think he's playable. I don't know what Phoenix is going to do here because they've dusted off Biyombo last couple games and have played him like a shift over McGee. Now, McGee is still played, but he's played 9 and 3 minutes. So I'm not sure what Phoenix is going to do here because clearly McGee is a great point per minute guy. If you want to take that risk, I don't think it's the worst idea. If you want to take the risk and hope that McGee goes back to his normal 12 to 15 minutes. So let's just say this. If I knew that JaVale McGee was playing his normal backup center role and playing 12 to 15 minutes, he would be in my lineup tomorrow. I'm just not sure about that because they've been playing Biyombo the last couple games and McGee's minutes have been trending down. So high risk play there with McGee, but like I said, he'll be super productive when he's on the court. And that's really it. I don't think I'm considering anyone else for Phoenix. So that'll wrap it up for the video today, guys. If you do enjoy the YouTube videos, just make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, make sure to check out my prize picks video. It will be up after this. We've been on fire for USFL. NBA should have been a 2 for 2. We hit the Jaren over rebounds. Like I said, Draymond over fantasy points was easily going to hit, but ejected. So that's no fun. But other than that, guys, let's pray for no ejections, no injuries, no bad variants. That would be appreciated. And I'll see you all back here in the next one.